who's tuning in. 9, I think it says there. I'll put it in a bit closer so I can see myself on the telly. And you've still got the Christmassy background, and you can see my Christmas jumper and hat. Can't see the star on the top. There you go. Getting very festive. We've got 15 people watching. Sorry for a little bit of a delay in starting and also getting the results out. It's been really busy this weekend. And putting the tree up amongst other things. Sky blue tree lights, we've got all sorts of colours on there. Evening, Chris, and well done on your run. One of the outstanding performances, in my opinion, from looking at the results, which are all now all in. The results I'm going to read out today are just provisional. I'm assuming that they're all right and correct, but I will go back through and do some more checks. To say it's all been a bit rushed tonight, really, rather than the usual process that I undertake to get these results out to you. Normal service will be resumed. But we do have some updated league tables to share and race results. The individual stats will come out at some point during the course of the week. They won't be out tonight, I can assure you. Right, and it's hotting up for a fantastic last week. It really is, because the league now is shaping up very nicely after this week's results. Evening, T-Dog. You got any jokes for us, T? That one about the horse. I've been crying with laughter about 3 days solid for that one. Evening, Paul. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling a bit better now. So we've got 1 week left to go now. We're nearly all done. And this week, I know some people have already got their runs in the bag. So for some people, the Simple League has finished. If you're going to declare that run that you've done this weekend, obviously time's limited during the week with the amount of daylight that we've got. And if people are at work and stuff during the day, it's perhaps more challenging to get a good time in the night time, but whatever suits. And if you've done a time over the weekend you think you can improve on your 5k time, then no limit to how many times you can go out and run. Knock yourselves out and do as many as you see fit. Obviously the more you do, the more tired you're going to get, as Chris Davis will probably no doubt say, which is why his time, as we'll find out later, was for me so impressive, because this guy he's been out every day since January the 1st, doing 5k or sometimes more. So that's not having any rest days. That's pretty good going, it's got to be said. It's not necessarily what coaches would advise to not have rest days, but obviously not doing it. He's doing it to raise money for a good cause. But yeah, fair dues. You're knocking out PBs when really you should be quite tired. It's good. It just shows the improvement that you do if you put the work in. And I think he's broke his milestone, £2,000 as well for fundraising. That's an excellent effort. So well done, that man. Right. What I'll do, I'll have a little break from the norm and just go through team by team. We'll go through the league table, and as it stands, with 1 week to go, because the way we're doing it, your best scores, best 6 out of 8 scores will count. So you can now, after this week, well, this week included, you will drop one of your worst scoring weeks. So that's shaking the table up a little bit. Right, at the bottom of the table we have Team Sky Blue, led by Gavin. He got a team out and he's had some good performances. Well, a bit of a mixed bag of performances. I think Adrian Parks was somebody who stood out. Got a gold standard time, 5k 22:44. I don't know if that's a PB for Adrian. It's got to be pretty close. That was an excellent run. His team picked up 2 points this week, so they weren't last over the week, but they're bottom of the table with 15 points. In 7th place in the league, we have I think actually joint 6, but anyway, they came 2nd this week, so they've hauled themselves up from the pits of obscurity. It's Adam McElhone's Peaky Grinders. Had a good week scoring wise. They move up the table. They had standout performances from Rich Boyd. Impressed me. He's not a Badger, but I think he's Rob Crow's mate, and he had a really good run, so well done, Rich. Andy Smith ran well, and Rob Crow had a decent run too. They are up there with White's Wobblers, who unfortunately this week were our lowest scoring team. So yeah, led by Steph White, hence the name White's Wobblers. They had 1 point, which they'll probably lose anyway because you drop your worst scores. So if you know that in advance, I suppose you could all have the week off. But you know, it's all good fun, isn't it? And it also, what I was going to say, but in case I forget earlier, if any of you got PBs and I don't read them out tonight, let me know, or let your captain know. So when we do the report for the paper and the news on the website, we can acknowledge your personal best. Some team captains put in a really good little spreadsheet together and indicate if it's a PB and stuff. And then I've got a grade of sort of how the scores come in, from that being really good to 15 Facebook Messenger separate posts with people's names and times that end up being corrected, then lost beneath a myriad of other chit chat going backwards and forwards. But anyway, I'm not criticising because the captain's done a fantastic job reducing my admin workload and also getting the best out of your teams as well. Looking at the improvements over the course of the last couple of weeks has been really quite impressive. So yeah, thanks for that. And also thanks to Lil Suter, because Lil has been doing a lot of checking for me. She's also running in this, and I forgot her name last week. Out of all the people's names to forget, the one person who's been helping me the most in getting this competition policed and doing some of my admin, it was Lil. She's done fantastic. So big round of applause at home for Lil, and apologies again for forgetting your name, even I had the initials as well. LS, I was going, who's LS? Oh, Lily Savage was on my mind. Didn't read the comments down the side of the thing because, well, I just didn't. After I scroll, we've got some more stuff there. Cheers, Chris. Just about to go out today. Loving the hat. You're welcome, Kate. Keep up the good work. Tree lights. My wife, I can talk to her at any time, can't we? Because we're stuck at home all the time. But it's all right. We get 20 years we've been together, I think, tomorrow. 20 years. Is that right, love? Yeah. You can look happy about it. Right. Yes. Ian Beale. I can't believe we got an Ian Beale reference into this. Make that the last one, or else you're going to get penalised. Well, you're bottom of the table anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it, Norman? Or Gavin, I should say. Right, where were we up to? We're up to White's Wobblers, then top 5. Now, the middle placings in this week's league was all quite close. So next up in the league, in 5th place, is Rob Boland's Giant Striders, and they had a pretty decent week because they came 3rd overall in this week's battle. Now, they had a good week last week, but they had a real mix of performances. There some fantastic PBs in the team, but they had some people that were quite below par, and that meant their team score was quite down. That's why it's a team game, you see. If every team member chips in and puts in a good performance, or even an average performance, it keeps the scores high. It's not about just picking your best 2 or 3, not like the Leicestershire League where it's the top 8 scorers and the rest might help the others by knocking other people down a little bit, but really it's you could run a team with just 8 people out of the whole club. No, it's everybody scores. So if that's why I say it's a team game. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit here, aren't I? And it's Rob Boland's team that we're talking about. I'm trying to find his thing on here. Where's he gone? Oh, here he is. Yeah, it's right, because I didn't put Rob down. I normally put the captain at the start, so I can see who's who. And Jason Clover has got the top spot this week for some reason. I think it's just how it come down on the reporting. But yeah, but Jason was one of the stars of the show for Rob's team. He ran a PB. I think he might run PBs every week. He's getting better and better and better. 36:52 he ran for the 5 miles. So well done, Jace. Great running. Wayne Repton, PB for Wayne. He went for the 1 miler. He ran 6:39, best he's ever done. Well done, Wayne. Captain himself, he's in good form at the moment. The captain, I think he paced Chris Davis for his PB in the 5k. But Rob ran the 10k and he ran a season's best 42:28. Well done, that man. We had a PB from Chris Davis, who's in Rob's team. I know there's been a few instances of people pacing one another from different teams, but normally you want to pace somebody from your own team because that's badge of spirit, isn't it? Well, it's a bit of fun, this competition. It's not cutthroat, ruthless, or is it? We'll find out next week. But yeah, Rob's team had a good week, so they're up to 5th. They've got 31 points, 2 points away from a place in the Champions League, which I don't even know if that exists, to be honest, but it sounds good, doesn't it? 4th place is Maggie Savin Barton's Chafing the Dream. and they're on 33 points. They had one of their more disappointing weeks in the scores this week, but they didn't have a bad week. They scored all right, but other teams did slightly better. In Maggie's team, they had a personal best from Bill Guthridge. Well done, Bill. He ran the 5 mile, 36:37. We had Jimmy Dewis, the informed Jimmy Dewis, as it says in the Herald almost every week, because he is in form. He ran 42:14 in the 10k. Well done, Jim. Good stuff. It gets a bit embarrassed when I mention his previous sporting accolades, but Jimmy used to play football from the Newton Borough, and he had a brief stint at the Adders, but I think he'll tell you the story better than I will, but he kicked the ball in somebody's face accidentally and knocked him out of the game when they were warming up on the pitch as substitutes. Who else did we have in that team? I think the only 2 PBs that we had. So the point this week was to pick your distance as to what you want to run, and see if you can improve on the one before. So in some ways, if you say for example you ran the mile and you had an absolute stinker, you were under the weather and you ran really badly and you blew up 3/4 of the way and you sort of limped home, you had a really crap time. Here's a chance where you can really do some damage to the team's score. You can really make a big difference, especially over the one of the distances where you've only done it once. So the 5k was probably a tough one to pick because you might have had 2 or 3 goes at that, so you had a chances are you've probably got decent time in amongst them to improve upon. So a bit of tactical selection required, and it gave people a chance who might have dragged the team down in a couple of weeks ago, and can boost them back up again, as you'll probably see by our winners when we reveal them at the end of the show. Anyway, that was 4th place. So the top 3 now, with the league now is bunching up, because Hannah's team, Hannah Craig's team, were from I think week 1 pretty much have been romping away with it, and now the top 3 teams are covered by just 4 points. 4 points, can you believe it? Well, you've got to believe it because it's true, provisionally, because I've got to do some more checks. But anyway, 3rd place in the league with 39 points, it's Dave Jackson's Queen Mother Blue outfit. They took 5 points from today's, last week's results, and they had one of the standout performances of the year, not just the competition, but of 2020, in my opinion. Aaron Chetwynd, funnily enough, because he does it every week now, but this one was just mind-blowing. He's in the form of his life. It just seems to get better and better. He ran the 5 miler, and if you remember before, he broke the club record by a second, I think, last time he did the 5 miler. Well, he's gone almost a minute quicker than the club record. I remember that club record because there was 4 of us all, I think it was Ryan, Baxter, Danny and me, all bang, 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 bang within about 20 seconds of each other. It was a great day for running. It was a race. There was something on it, and we were all, feeding off each other and running well as a team and as individuals. And Aaron's gone and obliterated that time. Admittedly, a slightly flatter course than the Joycan 5, which isn't hilly, but he's had to do it on his own. He's not had a race environment to feed off. He's not had people to kind of chase or push him along from behind or anything like that. He's done that purely off his own back. And the weather's this week's been pretty naff as well. I mean, it's been quite drizzly and a bit wet and stuff. So I wasn't expecting a fistful of PBs. He's got one, but he's took almost, I think it's 52 seconds he's taken off his time from the previous 5 miles. So that is just absolutely incredible. So again, big round of applause for that performance. That's stuff of dreams. Now, Dave's team had a lot of improvers this week. I don't know if there's any more PBs now. Glyn Broadhurst might have been a PB. I'm not sure, Dave, if you can let me know any PBs that you've got within there. I think his mile time, Dave did 5:08 for the mile, which I'm sure is his fastest time. But there's a lot of improvements across the board in his team. But let me know if any got any PBs and we can report on them. Right, your top 2. Second place in the league with the race win this week, 10 points. It's Nicky Bowman's Team Nuts and what are they called? Tight Nuts and Sweaty Butts, I think they're called, something like that. They took maximum points. They had a good, across the board, a consistent set of good performances from everyone who ran. There was 3, I think, ran the mile, which is Carl Savage, our most improved male of the year. He ran 6:03, backing up his status as most improved. That was a personal best. Vicky Smith did a personal best in the mile, and Merv Jones, again, he's in good form at the moment, and he's got a stellar local football career too to talk about. I'll let Merv fill you in on the detail on that. He ran 7:31, a PB, so all the milers got PBs. Luke Neal, who I don't think is a Badger, but good club to join if you're watching, Luke, which you probably won't be because you won't be on the Facebook page, but if someone gets this message to Luke, yeah, join up on the website. There you go. Well, for next year probably, because we ain't got no races now until, well, some point next year at the best. He ran 32 minutes for the 5 miler, PB, and say everybody ran well. There was no letdowns in that team, which is why they got top score. And that means the top of the table is still with no change, but the gap has receded to just 2 points. With 43 points now, it's Hannah Craig's team. They didn't have a bad week actually. They've been pretty consistent. There was just the one PB, which was Dave Jenkinson. He ran 37:23 for his 5 mile, but there was still some good times in amongst that. Besides the fact there was just the one PB, Mike Wine dipped under 7 minutes for the mile. So some good efforts all around. I think Hannah Craig, she ran 42:07 in her race. So at the 5 mile, she's in good form as well. So there you go. There you have it. That's the team scores. Now the individuals, I'll go through these in a bit more detail during the week when I've verified all the results. Our male winner and overall winner was Andy Smith, who ran the 5 miler considerably faster than he ran his previous 5 miler. And our ladies winner in the 10k was Anne-Marie Matthews in the Giant Striders team, who ran her 10k considerably faster than her other 10k. So well done to you two. Well done to everybody who ran for getting out there and getting involved, helping your team out and keeping fit. So yeah, well done for that. There's 1 week to go. It's the 5k. So some of you have already gone and done it. You're trying to beat your 5k time from, say, week 1. I think it's the 16th of October, because we did a prelim round before that. We're not going to count it against that. That was like a handicap setting week to see where I should set people's handicaps or gauge how fast somebody can run when I've not got much detail on them, etc. So yeah, it's the week we first started scoring the points, which was the 16th. Now, if you had a bad week that week because you weren't feeling very well, you've got a great chance of doing particularly well now. If you ran your personal best in that first week and you've struggled to reach those heights, you might not score as well. But I say it's a bit of fun, and it's keep us going for another week. It'll give us something to put in the paper for another week as well. We've got the presentation awards to write up on as well. Thank you for anybody who voted for me. It's quite humbled by the support I've got. Obviously picking up some nice trophies. There will be trophies for all the people who won. By the way, I think Danny's got them engraved, but they obviously won't be presented to you in the usual setting. They'll be delivered to you in a sort of safe way at some point over the next couple of weeks, I should imagine. So yeah, thanks for your support for me. It's not just me; it's plenty of other people in the club that do a lot. And say in this competition, I'm just like the coordinator. It's the captains. I think they're doing a lot of the work and taking a lot of the responsibility, motivation, and admin. So yeah. Good team effort, it's fair to say. And with the presentation night, I didn't actually know that I'd won anything until watching it live, which is weird because I put the thing together with Danny. Everyone sent me different bits and clips and things like that, so it was like having a million different jigsaw pieces, trying to put them all together to make some sort of sense and running order. It was weird recording some of the links as well, because you're not quite, some of the links I did in advance because I had that screen at the back of me, and then I gave it to Danny for him to do his bits. So you're doing a link on the basis that someone's going to send you a video of them, but you don't know what the content in that video is exactly because you haven't seen it. You've just given somebody a brief. So I think it went all right, and it could have been horrendous, but it was all right. But I say, Danny managed to keep I asked him to, because I've seen how many times I've been nominated, and I thought I might have got a good chance of winning something here, but I didn't know which one or any of them. So I said, if I'm in the running for anything, don't tell me, can you present those awards, which he very kindly did. So we managed to keep it a secret, so I didn't know until the night when I was watching it live, watching my own presentation live, that I'd actually won, so that was good. Apologies for the beard as well, by the way, and the stubble. I'm currently having a bathroom refit at the moment, and we ripped it all out last weekend. Plumber came round on during last week to fit the bath. Got the bath from the suppliers, from the merchants, and the new bath that we'd ordered was broken. So he's had to order a new one, which has taken a week to come in. Well, I take a week to come in. It's not coming till next week. So we've having to do like little washes in a sink, and luckily we've got a downstairs toilet. But yeah, it's not been great. So it probably stink really. Look, I'm just getting some filthy looks now. We don't stink. I bought some extra cans of Lynx from the supermarket, so we're all right. Plenty of Glasgow showers on the go in Hull. Look, mind you, if you came round now, it probably does stink, because the Great Dane who's down here, I'll show you. There she is, curled up on her bed. She has been letting out the most disgusting guffs that you can imagine. So I've been brave doing this presentation tonight, maybe too brave, because I think it really gets to the back of your throat. So anyway, I'm not sure what I've been feeding her. It's normal dog food, but anyway, you don't need to know about that, do you? Have we got any more sort of chit chat down here that I missed out on? Yeah, people congratulating each other as they should, because there's been some fantastic. Justin could smell me from Portugal. That's not me. That's Martin Barrett. He's nearer to you in Spain. Anyway, right, there we go. So on that note, I shall wrap it all up, because it's been far too long. And I shall see you all at some point next week, when we'll have the final results and scores. The quicker we can get the results in on Friday, the more chance I've got of getting everything sorted out for another show on Sunday, when we can then have an idea of who's won what. Because I was hoping to do some individual awards as well, maybe do some by age group and whatever else. So I've got the spreadsheet set up. It's all a case of just punching the right sort of things in. Captains, if you can let me know which age category your runners fall in, that would be helpful. Save me looking up birthdays and stuff like that. And the other thing as well to remember is, if anyone's run all of the distances that we've covered so far in this Super League, you only want one more distance now to get your standard times award. So you could just do it if you don't want to go on too far. A 6 mile is the one that we haven't covered, so we could do a 6 mile race maybe after Christmas if people fancy it. Or you can just go and do one of your own. Doesn't have to be in this format. If you go out and run 6 miler, then you've got a standard times of some level. So that's something to think about. The other thing as well, while I'm on, take opportunity to publicise stuff, save sending an email out. The county standard times, which I know some of us do, not a lot, but they're available to do, and they run up on the calendar year, so they'll be coming to an end in a couple of weeks, at the end of December. Now, normally the county standard times are a little bit harder to achieve than the club ones, but because of COVID and because of the paucity of races, the league have actually lowered the standards on the times and the bandings, so it's actually a bit easier now. So if you want to, like, say you're aiming for a silver, for example, it's easier to get a silver now than it was last year, because they've made it easier, basically because you're not like to find that sort of competitive environment that you used to be able to. So it's very, very similar to the way the club have done theirs. So if you've done your own time trial somewhere and it's on Strava and we can verify it and you haven't run down a big hill, a lot of these times that you're doing in the Super League will qualify for your county standard times. Anyone's interested in it, it's on the lran.org.uk website. That's lran.org.uk. There's not much on that website, but standard times are on there. Or just drop me a message, let me know, because I think I'm our club's coordinator for it, and I'll just point in the right direction. You can see what you've got to get and what you've got to do. And it's just something else extra to aim for. You get a certificate at the end of the year and say, yeah, I did this. So there you go. All right, I've been waffling on. The numbers I've dropped up to 22. Maybe you've just fallen asleep. Don't blame me if you did. What else have we got? Yeah, Dave Jenkinson says a lot of people have put a lot of effort into running this competition, and that they have. It's great to see. From an administrator's point of view, it's done what I wanted it to do. It's got people engaged. It's got people making friends with people that they perhaps wouldn't ordinarily come into contact with. and it's got people really trying. I think it'd be great to see when we do start league races again, hopefully at some point in 2021, how people can take that racecraft, that ability to pace themselves better, to push themselves better, because I think people have surprised themselves by just maybe stepping outside their comfort zone a little bit more, getting some good times. And it'd be nice to see that translate then into a league race and see how well you can perform, not under pressure, but in that competitive environment, which I still think gives you an extra boost. So if you're seeing Aaron doing 26:50 something for a 5 miler, that might be 26:30 in a league race somewhere. Because of the fact that you've got other people around you. So the future is very exciting, I think, for people at Badgers. So long may that continue. And on that note, I shall see you all at the same time next week, hopefully. I think I'm still on, actually. I pressed the button to end it, but it looks like I'm still live. Oh yeah, I've just been, my auto cues broke, but she's just piped up and said that I forgot to thank everybody for my trainers. Yeah, so Dave, and he had a little video thing on Facebook the other day, and you had a whip round for me, which you didn't have to do. I'm very humbled by it, so thank you. Got some trainers and some money in a card, which I'll pick up at some point during the week, all being well. So yeah, thank you ever so much for that. You didn't need to do anything. It was, it wasn't necessary, but it's much appreciated the fact that you've gone to that sort of effort for me. So yeah, thank you. Right, I'll try and press the button again now and do this. DC, how you doing, DC? Hope you're all right. And yeah, I hope you'll be back as well. And cheers, Dave Jenkinson. Right, that's it. Yeah, that's me gone. I can't get rid of myself.